What's going on, guys? Today I'm back in the garage for another install. Finally, I haven't done an install in a long time, so it feels good to be back in here working on the truck. Today I'm going to be installing comms in my truck. I have a Midland GMRS radio that I've used a couple of times out on the trail, but really what I've been doing is just kind of plugging it in and throwing it in the passenger seat and just having, the wires all around everywhere. So today I'm going to finally do a clean install on my Dashtop Multi Mount, and yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and get right into the install. So here's what I got. Excuse the messiness. Like I said, I've used this, so the wires are kind of all tangled around everywhere. But yeah, so it's the Midland MXT105. It's a super basic GMRS radio, not a handheld, so it's got obviously the mic and the little unit there. So essentially what I'm going to be doing is installing this on my Dashtop Multi Mount, which you can kind of see in there where the phone mount is. So what I did was I went ahead and bought another one of the Arkon phone mounts, which it actually fits up just about perfectly with the radio. And I bought that, I think, on Amazon, and then I had to go to Arkon's site to buy the correct ball mount here so that it'll work with the ball mount that was provided with the Dashtop Multi Mount when I bought it. So essentially what I'm going to be doing is obviously putting this into the Dashtop Multi Mount and mounting this facing, horizontal like that with the radio on top. And then this mic mount came with the radio, so I'm gonna go ahead and use this for now, but I think I'll find a better solution going forward because I don't really want to just have a sticky thing on my truck. I want a little bit better of a solution there, so I'll work on that, but I'll leave links in the description to everything you see here, so if you want to set it up this way, you can go ahead and do that. And then for now, the plan is to just use the old cigarette lighter 12 volt to plug it in. I'm not going to hardwire it yet, just because I'm not too worried about it. I don't use it too often, so I can kind of just unplug it, throw this in the glove box, and plug it in when needed. And then for the antenna, I'm going to show you how I'm going to wire that up through the door and out to the roof by the Prinsu rack up there. So I'm gonna go ahead and get the truck turned around in the garage, and I'll get started with the install. Alright, so as I mentioned, I have the Dashtop Multi Mount set up in my Tacoma. I don't have an install video or anything for this, but I did mention it in my overview video, so go check that out if you want to see why I got this and why I like it so much. But yeah, so the idea here is I have a bunch of little slots on the top here that I can use. I think I'm going to go with probably this one or this one. And then I have another one of the supplied ball mounts here that I mount in. And then from there I'm just going to install the Arkon on top of that, and then obviously put the radio in. And that's how I'm going to be mounting it to the dash. So once that's mounted up, I'm going to probably just mount the antenna wire kind of like around this, and then under here and up through the door to the roof by the Prinsu rack. Definitely not the cleanest install, but I'm not too worried about it. Alright, so as you just saw, I put the ball mount and the Arkon mount on that. There's a little bit of a difference between this Arkon mount and the one I use for my phone. Mainly the little twister here that tightens and loosens it down. I have that on this so that I can kind of keep it loose but still tight enough to stay on there without, it falling off and my phone falling off. Whereas with this one, I don't really care too much about it moving around, and it stays tight enough with this. So I think I'll be good here. The ball mount is rubber, and there's also rubber inside of the clip that goes onto it, so I think that'll be pretty stable. But if you're worried about that, you can order this back piece here, which is just like a little T-slot clip that goes in the back of this. You can order it with the little twister to tighten it down if you want, but I knew I wasn't going to need it, so I just went ahead and got this one. It was a couple bucks cheaper. Alright, so as you can see, I have the radio mounted on the Arkon mount, and it seems pretty solid. It has a little bit of wiggle, a little bit of play, but I'm not too worried about it. The biggest thing is going to be trying to figure out where I want to mount the mic. Obviously I'm sitting on the passenger side right now, so I want it somewhere where I can reach it from the driver's side. And honestly, there's not that many flat spaces that I could put the sticky on. I think I might try to squeeze it in down here, and it gets a little bit in the way of that button, or that knob rather, but I don't really use that knob too often, and I don't think it'll completely hinder me from using it, so I might just put it here. Either way, I don't see this sticky mount being the permanent solution for me. I might either 3D print something that kind of mounts up on this. They have a couple of these that I've seen online that you can mount here, or B, get another one of these little arm mounts like the RAM mounts and try to find a mic mount for that, so I could, you know, put it in the middle here somewhere and just hang it right up there. So I don't know, but for now I think I'm just gonna try to stick that right here and see how that looks. But anyway, it's time to do the wiring. So as I said before, gonna be using the 12-volt cigarette lighter to power this for now, and you know, this detaches pretty easily, so I think I'll just end up throwing it in the glove box when I'm not actually using it. But I'll wire it up just to kind of show you guys what that process is going to look like and how the wires are going to look on the dash. As you can see, that's all wired up. Literally just gonna let the wire kind of hang. I'll probably eventually do a hardwired install, but like I said, right now I'm not too worried about it. It's a pretty quick disconnect on the back there, so it's pretty easy to just unplug it and then throw it in the glove box for when I'm not using it, which is like 99% of the time. So I think this will be fine for now. But in the future, if I do stick with this radio, I'll do a hardwired install. Alright, so the final step is going to be wiring up the antenna to the roof. So this is going to be a little bit more of a permanent install because I don't want to have to, you know, just crack the window and throw it on the roof all the time. I just kind of want to set it up there and forget it and just have it ready to go whenever I'm ready to use the mic out on the trail. So I think what I'm going to do, the antenna has a little magnetic base to it, so I think I'm just going to try to wire it from here down through here, up through the door, under this door sill, and then to the roof up there. Alright, so I'm not sure if you guys were really able to see what I was doing there, but essentially I plugged the antenna into the back of the radio and just kind of fed it down here and into the glove box, which I'm gonna neatly tie up all the excess because there's a lot, and then it's coming out here. Obviously I haven't cleaned this up yet, but it'll be kind of like tight around like this and go up into the door sill, and then that's fed along the door sill to here, where I just pulled this down and out and then fed this through, and then you can kind of see the antenna hiding behind the Prinsu rack up there. So I think this will work. I'll close the door here and see. Yeah, it seems to be okay. But the true test of this is going to be the first time it gets wet, the first time it rains out, to see if anything's leaking in. But it seems like a pretty tight seal, so I'm not too worried about it right now. But I'll definitely update you guys if that does leak, because that could be an issue. As you can see, it already got tightened up quite a bit on both sides once I put the stuff in here. And basically what I just have in my glove box is the original manuals, maintenance records, and then of course a ton of random napkins. If you don't have a ton of random napkins in your glove box, I probably don't trust you, and I think that's weird. You gotta have napkins in the glove box, man, come on. And then other than that, just my spare change, so that's kind of holding it in a little bit. You see if I push this, the wire kind of tightens up, so I think that'll be good. Yeah, so I'm pretty happy with that install, and once I close this up, you almost can't even tell, you know, it's not very noticeable. So I'll clean it up a little bit at some point. Like I have a wire up here, I want to get another one of those little clips, the sticky clips on there that holds it in place. That's for the dash cam, so I want to get a couple of those to put either on the inside or maybe on the side out here, so it's not all loosey-goosey. But overall I think that's good. So all that's left, I'm going to try to install this here, and then I think we're good to go on this install. Alright, so this is what the final product looks like. Arkon mount up there nicely. I'll probably turn it a little bit more towards me, obviously. This red and black power wire isn't going to be there all the time, just when I'm on and running it. I have the mic mounted down here for now. That'll probably move at some point once I figure out a little bit better of a mounting solution for it. And then finally the antenna wire coming down through here into the glove box, out the side there, up through the trim, and then out on top, which the antenna's kind of hiding under the Prinsu rack up there. So pretty happy with this install. Like I said, minus the red and black wire that's not going to be there all the time, I think it's pretty clean. It's definitely clean enough for me to use. I'm not too picky about it, but you know, it could always change in the future. If you guys want to see a video where I do like a hardwired install or make it a little bit cleaner, just let me know, drop a comment, and maybe I can make that happen. Alright guys, so that's all I have for the comms install on my Tacoma. If you have any questions, please drop a comment below and I'll get back to you. Make sure you hit that subscribe button so you know when future videos are coming out. I'm trying to do, you know, a little bit more adventure videos while still doing the how-tos that I kind of started the channel with. But obviously, since my truck's a little bit more built out now, those install videos are kind of slowing down a little bit. So I'm gonna try to get out and do some more adventure videos, and hopefully that's, you know, content that you guys want to see, because I enjoy making that stuff. So that's why I'm gonna do regardless. But yeah, so hit that subscribe button, hit the like button if you enjoyed this video, and thank you guys for watching. I'll see you in the next one. By the way, I just noticed that I had this installed upside down the whole time. Not sure how I didn't catch that before, but we're good now. I'm an idiot. Sick.